When I ask you about controversial endings to FIA World Championships, what comes to mind? Abu Dhabi 2021, probably. Maybe Bahrain 2021. But one of the worst took place on this weekend 11 years ago. I'm Ewan, and this is the story of the 2012 GT1 World Championship finale. In 2012, GT1 was a mess. I mean, let's start this by dissecting the name. The FIA GT1 World Championship. FIA? Check, they did sanction it. GT1? No. For 2012, the championship had moved to GT3 cars. World? Again, no. All 9 rounds in 2012 took place in Europe. And championship? It was at least still one of those. So, 2 out of 4 correct, but kind of the least important ones. A much more appropriate name would have been the FIA GT3 European Championship, but that was already taken by their own support series. The bigger problem was the grid sizes. 17 cars were at the season opener, but this fell to just 12 by the end of the year as multiple teams withdrew. On track at least, the racing was great. Audi won the season opener at Nogaro, Porsche at Zolder, McLaren at Navarra, BMW at the Slovakia Ring and Mercedes at Portimao. It wasn't until round 6, again at the Slovakia Ring, we had a repeat winner, the number 18 BMW, with McLaren winning again at Moscow Raceway and Ferrari at the Nürburgring. Heading to the season finale, 3 cars could still win the championship. In the points lead was the 38 Allincor Munich Motorsport Mercedes of Mark Basseng and Markus Winkelhock, winless all season but with 6 podium finishes. Just 1 point behind them were Michael Bartels and Jelmer Berman in the Vita for One BMW, twice winners but with only 1 other podium finish. And the outsider, 32 points back with 33 available, was the Hexis Racing McLaren of Stef Dusseldorp and Frederick Makowiecki, which had 2 wins but also 2 retirements. The venue for the finale was Donington Park in the United Kingdom, a great choice, and not just because it's my home circuit. The flowing opening half of the lap suited the BMW, whilst the pair of hairpins in the second half suited the Mercedes. Over a lap, the 2 cars were about even, but they made their pace in very different ways. The championship used an F1 style 3-part knockout qualifying, but with only 12 cars, making it through Q1 was a formality. In Q2, Bartels went quickest in the BMW, whilst Winkelhock was having an awful time of things, spinning multiple times and getting knocked out. Berman wasn't able to replicate his teammate's form in Q3, ending up down in 7th. Pole went to Adam Carroll for WRT Audi, with Makowiecki joining him on the front row. Before the main race came the qualifying race, where points would be awarded to the top 6, and it would also set the grid for the season finale. Winkelhock had messed up in qualifying and was out for redemption, climbing from 10th to 5th on the opening lap, crucially passing Berman in the process. Winkelhock's teammate Thomas Jaeger was ahead in 4th, and 1 quick piece of team orders later, Winkelhock had a bodyguard. No matter what Berman did, he couldn't find a way past Jaeger, so when the pit stop window opened, the BMW pitted immediately. Winkelhock pitted 1 lap later, with Basseng coming out ahead of the BMW. But quickest in the pit sequence was Jaeger and his teammate Nicky Pastorelli, who jumped back ahead of the sister car. We were back to where we were at the start, 37 ahead of 38, 38 being hounded by 18, until again team orders restored a buffer. Enough for Oliver Jarvis brought out the safety car, bunching up the field. At this point, Makowiecki led in the McLaren, with Basseng 4th, Bartels 6th, and a fired-up Alvaro Parent in the other McLaren 7th. Parent jumped Bartels at the restart, then also passed Basseng. With 3 minutes to go, Bartels made one final assault on Pastorelli to take 6th and the one championship point which came with it. But disaster, contact, puncture, pit stop, goodbye to any hopes of a points finish. Dusseldorp and Makowiecki took the win, but with Basseng and Winkelhock picking up 2 points for 5th, their slim title hopes came to an end. Bartels and Berman ended up down in 9th, and were now 3 points back in the championship, with just one final race to make it all up. On a cloudy Sunday afternoon at the end of September, GT1 would come to an end. The championship race got off to a hectic start, as Nicky Melnoff in the second BMW ran wide and made contact with the Ford of Laurent Groppi. The race was red flagged for barrier repairs, and Basseng and Bartels would have to reset and go again. Pastorelli in the 37 had jumped Basseng at the start, and third time around team orders didn't quite go to plan, as they both got mugged by Enzo Ede in the Ferrari. Basseng was now 6th, Bartels 9th, with Pastorelli 8th and Jarvis 7th. But Basseng was slightly off the pace, and despite Donington proving difficult to overtake at, Jarvis was still able to find a way past him. The pit window opened, and Bartels was the first of the title contenders to come in. It was a great stop by Vita for one, and Berman wasted no time passing Frank Stippler on his outlap. Basseng came in a lap later, and Winkelhock emerged in front of Berman, but crucially on cold tyres. Berman hunted him down at a rate of knots, and by the end of Sector 2 was right up behind Winkelhock. He looked to the outside at the Melbourne hairpin, and the Goddard's hairpin, and the Redgate hairpin, before finally getting the cutback. The pair made contact, Berman went off hard into the wall, out of the race and out of World Championship contention. The Mercedes was also out, but it didn't matter. Mark Basseng and Marcus Winkelhock were 2012 FIA GT1 World Champions. The stewards were all over this incident, and Winkelhock was deemed responsible, with the 38 car disqualified from the race. A harsh penalty, but at the same time pretty meaningless. They'd end the season on 145 points, one ahead of Bartels and Berman, and race winners Dusseldorp and Makowiecki, as the FIA GT1 World Championship came to a controversial end. The name and World Championship status is dead, but the spirit of FIA GT1 lives on as the GT World Challenge Europe Sprint Cup, which has continued to dish out plenty of great entertainment, though thankfully with slightly more peaceful title fights. And if you've enjoyed this video, please press that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out.